with Will on 531 PI.
You're listening to Pacific Mornings on 531 PI. It is 12 minutes past 8 o'clock for Thursday, the 20th of November. You're with William Terite. It's great to be in your company. We'd love to hear from you, left, right, centre and between. Pacific Mornings at pmn.co.nz, on our Facebook page 531 PI, the text machine 531. Now, nearly a decade after Gareth Morgan founded the party, there's a new face at the helm of Opportunity now, formerly the Opportunities Party. Aucklander Qiulae Wong has been unveiled as the new leader, fronting a refreshed look and a renewed pitch as a builder of sustainable businesses. Now, the party has been without a leader since 2023, and despite a nationwide search, of course, no secret, it hasn't quite cracked the 5% threshold just yet. So, could this fresh leadership change and this refresh change its fortunes ahead of 2026? Qiulae joins me now. Very good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you very much. I said off here, I've been watching a wee bit in terms of your media rounds this week. It's looking promising, but just tell us a wee bit about yourself and why you decided to put your hand up.
Yeah, sure. I am an Aucklander, grew up there and studied law and politics. So I guess there was a bit of an inkling that this might be something I was interested in way back at university. I decided not to go into law because the options at that point seemed like being a commercial lawyer was the main route, and I was always more interested in the sort of social justice side of things. So I've really spent my career in the kind of purpose-led, impact-focused business world. That took me in London working with the fashion sector, so trying to change perceptions around fashion and apparel from a sustainability point of view, from something that used to be seen as kind of tie-dye and hemp skirts to something that can actually be high fashion and something, and also something that's accessible that people can wear. And then that kind of led me down to kind of the path of sustainability generally in business. And the thing that I came up against time and time again is that it's not enough to have a few good people and a few good businesses doing the right thing. We actually need structural legislative change to make doing the right thing the easy thing for businesses and for everyday people. And so that's where I got really interested in this idea of systemic change and what are the levers of government that we can pull to try and improve lives for people and also look after our environment while we have businesses that grow and are succeeding and contributing to the economy. So this felt like a great fit. The Opportunity Party is one that I genuinely feel like I can stand up against all the policies and feel like I have integrity and genuinely believe in that vision. And so it felt like a good fit for me, and it felt like the right time for New Zealand to bring this vision. Full credit to Gareth and all the people that have come before me. We wouldn't be here without them. But we're also excited to open up the conversation to something a bit bigger and broader for Kiwis.
Yeah, certainly. And with that being said, the party's gone through a bit of a refresh. I suppose, what's the difference between when it was top and now? Is there a policy rejig here? As a political nerd, I've always really actually admired Top's policies. Are you going to be drastically shifting from that? What's the policy platform?
Yeah, so the policy platform is in many ways very similar to our roots. The tax reset is at the heart, and that is what Gareth and all the supporters over the years have really come to the party for, the bravery to rethink our tax system. And so that's very much still a cornerstone of our policy. I think the key difference is we have spent too much time talking about the details of the policy in the past and kind of just hoping that people might sit down and read our 30-page documents. And in reality, that's just, people don't have time for that. We need to make it super simple and get out and talk to people in everyday language that means something to them and paint the picture of what we think that future will mean for everyday Kiwis.
Indeed. Is there room for another centrist party in Parliament? I mean, New Zealand First in some ways claims to be centrist. Where does this iteration of the Opportunity Party actually sit now? Is it centrist progressive? Is it left-leaning? Give me a bit of sense.
We call it radical centrism, and that's because in this world of pendulum politics, where it feels like we're getting whiplash from kind of left to right and all the time we spend undoing each other's work instead of actually focusing on moving forward, it does feel radical to actually try and find the common ground. And so we're proudly kind of standing for that. I think the difference between us and New Zealand First in particular is where New Zealand First is perhaps being seen as a bit of a handbrake to try and take either side of government back to the past. We see ourselves as an accelerator to the future. So how do we take the best of what we think each of the major parties is offering and say, hey, let's build on this for something better for Kiwis, not try and tack on little bits where we can tinker around the edges, or get pulled further to the extreme. Like, how do we work together and find common ground that the majority of Kiwis would agree is the right way forward?
The thing with centrism, though, and correct me if you think my interpretation of it is wrong, is that centrism in many ways it's a pragmatic approach, but inevitably in itself you're in the middle on everything. I mean, how can you counter that truly?
I suppose I don't really see us as being in the middle. We're in the middle, but we're ahead because I think our policies are quite ambitious and bold. So it's not like we're trying to find compromise between what National and Labour are offering. We're suggesting something quite different in terms of how we build the economy and how we build the basics for all. So I think it is stretching them both to pull ahead. We're certainly not everything to all people. I think that there particularly will be people on both extremes that don't agree with what we have to say because they don't see us, having kind of really dogmatic views, because we don't think that it's good to fuel that polarization which is happening in society, which is not just happening, in politics. That affects all of us and the way that we live and work together in our communities. So that's something that we would really like to see change in the political landscape.
Couldn't agree more. With that being said, then, that sentiment, let's water it down. I mean, we're talking real ideology, and that's because of my questioning, because I'm a nerd. But let's water it down. So for our Pacific listeners, if they want real difference at the next election, what is opportunity going to offer our Pacific people who historically always tend to pull towards Labour?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I'm not Pacifica myself, but I was born in Fiji, and we have. My dad grew up in Fiji, and my grandparents lived there. So we grew up with a really multicultural extended whānau and friends, and many of those people come from Pacific communities. And the thing that I value the most from that is that the culture of family and connection to community. I think that's really important. And so I think, one thing is the social division. This is about bringing people together and respecting everybody's views and kind of moving forward in a way that provides dignity and support for everyone to thrive. I think is a foundational principle that's really core to who I am, and I think what the party represents. And I think, our tax reset is meaningful for lots of Kiwis, wherever they are on the income spectrum. We have, in Auckland, the largest Pacific population in the world. And there are some, so there are some people who are building great businesses in that community. There are also some people that are doing it really tough. And I think that our tax reset, the combination of the citizens' income, which is going to put money back in people's pockets to back them with some stability to actually get out and get ahead in life, and with the combination with the land value tax as well, bringing house prices down, I think that is a solution that makes sense for a lot of communities, and I hope will speak also to the Pacifica community too.
It's exciting stuff indeed. All right, with all of that in mind, give me a bit of, I suppose, your hot take on how things are currently tracking in the political environment at the moment. Some would argue that what's happening, social cohesion isn't the best in the country at the moment. Economically speaking as well, doesn't look that flash, GDP, etc. Yeah. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I think the economy is stuck. We are throwing some outdated ideas at it to try and get it going, and it's clearly not working. We're still not seeing the growth that's been promised. and our perspective is that the new economy requires a different kind of growth. It's not that all growth is bad, but we need to have growth that, doesn't extract more from nature than it gives back, and doesn't take more from everyday people than it gives back. So that's kind of at the core of what we stand for with regards to the economy. And then, we have huge challenges, like how on earth are we going to pay for superannuation with our aging population? How are we going to look after the health of our people with buckling infrastructure? And that's really where our tax reset package is trying to solve some of those problems by reducing the cost of living, supporting people to get ahead, and breaking our addiction to house prices, and building an economy that's built on more than just weatherboards and roofs. So I think we're in a bit of I don't want to say downward spiral, but a bit of a negative loop at the moment with that. And I think the combination of our new economy and tax reset is about shifting to a new kind of focus and a new track for New Zealand.
Right. With that being said then, all right, give me a bit of a sense behind the scenes at Top Opportunity. What's it looking like? I mean, the team, how big are we talking? Are you grassrootsing again? Give us a bit of a behind the scenes look.
Yeah, we're very, very small, very nimble and flexible at the moment. We've got a great dedicated team of volunteers already working on a lot of our stuff, whether that's socials or corralling volunteers, getting events together. We have some amazing, regional leads. So I think definitely grassroots is core to us. We've got some amazing. I was just at an event last night with our members in Wellington, and it was just awesome to meet so many people that have been doing this since the Gareth Morgan days, really believe in what the party stands for, and just really genuine people that are, want to see some positive change. So I'm really heartened by that experience, and looking forward to bringing more people into that fold. But we also know that if we want to get over the 5%, we need to raise some money, and we need to get more people really working on the nuts and bolts of taking this party forward. We're also going through the process of confirming our candidates for next year. So really excited to see who comes forward on that. We've already got a good base of people that are keen within the party, but I'm also keen to hear from anyone externally that might be interested to talk about what that might mean for them too.
Full steam ahead. Well, it is exciting. Before I let you go, it's way too early to talk coalition partners here. We've got to get to the 5% threshold, but could you work with both Labour and National?
Yeah, so we have always proudly said we'd work with anyone. We wouldn't be walking the talk if we said we couldn't. And I think there are different ways we would hold either National or Labour to account. There are things that both sides will like about our policies, and there'll be things that make them feel a bit uncomfortable. So the nature of what that conversation will be with each side will be different, depending on who's most likely to form a government. But we're not ruling anything out, and we're open to having the conversation.
Awesome, exciting. Look, it's been cheeky of me. This is really cheeky of me, but I've got to ask, who's in charge of the branding here? I'm just going to get this on camera. And then it's close to Meridian Energy. Who thought? I was like, wow. I hadn't noticed that. I think, again, we've had amazing people that have dedicated a lot of time to this already, but we can always do more. And I'd love, I did see your article. I think, there's lots more heart and feeling that we can inject into it. This is just the beginning, and we've already got some great creative minds that have come to me to help on that front. But cool.
Door is always open.
I'm just being cheeky. It's actually really exciting to have the opportunity back in full gusto. So hey, thank you so much for your time this morning, and all the best as well. We'll check in closer as well to the election.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. That is Qiulae Wong, of course, the leader of the